forgive me, I didn't like it. I just didn't like it. It just didn't make a hill of beans of sense to me at all. So, hey everybody, welcome to the D. Louise book series. I'm Kristina, Kristina. And this is where I read books and talk about books. I have no special effects. I have no skills in editing. I have no special programs. My audio was horrible. My vision was horrible. Everything. But I ask you to stay and I ask you to hit the thumbs up and let me know I'm doing a good job by reading books and talking books. And my buddy all looking cute over the Sorry. All right. See, I have no special effects. All right. So, I just finished the Darcy Wilde series. Please check out those books. And I was all prepared to binge read a new series. I don't like it. It was just. All right. So let's start at the beginning, shall we? Jennifer Ashley, Death Below Stairs. Now, it's different in that it's a cook who's solving the mysteries. A cook in 1880. It just didn't make a hill of beans of sense. A cook. I didn't get it. A cook, a maid, a housekeeper. You know, Rosalind was a useful woman. She did stuff, but she had her own place. She was reduced to Baroness. Or Miss Brandt was a midwife. Or that other librarian. Or the other one was a housekeeper. I've had them all, but this was a cook. And I'm like, how is she going to listen in on conversations in the household if she's a cook, if she has to stay in the kitchen? How is her presence going to be explained in other places if she's a cook? It just didn't click for me. And then I felt like I was coming into an established series because there were so many unanswered questions. But this is the first book. See, first book. It says first book. And it didn't make a hill of beans of sense. Okay, so this lady, Mrs. Holloway, she's friends with Daniel. Don't know how they met. It's never said how they met, or they have a standing relationship or friendship or whatever you want to call it. No mention of how they started. No mention of what he actually is. Daniel's occupation is unknown. He pretends to do a lot of other occupations while investigating stuff, but his occupation is never really revealed. His relationship with Mrs. Holloway is not like revealed there. 200 pages in the book, all of a sudden she's got a daughter. What? How? Who? Okay, so then, she had a previous job, something happened to the previous job. Don't know, didn't say. No, what, if, and what's, she went to an agency, she's an established cook. So, she meets Lord Rankin. Apparently, Lord Rankin abuses the staff. So, she defends the staff. And, apparently, Lord Rankin's wife has a sister who likes Cynthia, who I think might be on the gay side. I'm not exactly sure, but it leans that way. She likes to dress in male clothing, and she hangs out with Bobby, who is Lady Roberta. And it's just, how is she gonna, she leaves the house, and she goes on errands, and she goes on investigations. She's a cook. All this time is supposed to, it just, And Lord Rankin says he wanted the younger maid, Sinead, to come to his room, bring him tea, and apparently it's widely known in the staff that when she does that, she gets raped. So Mrs. Holloway decides to put an end to it, and she goes to do it, and he fires her because she's just a cook and she shouldn't be doing this stuff and overriding the housekeeper and overriding the butler. And it's just And then Tim's gets run over. We're not even sure exactly who Tim is, but later on it's revealed that he was working for Daniel. And again, we still don't know what Daniel does. And he was watching the Rankin house, and apparently Cynthia ran him over, and that's why they brought him into the house. And it was Mrs. Holloway that said bring him into the house. And we still don't know what's going on here. And then Sinead, the maid, the one that was going to be raped by the lord of the household, she's found dead in the pantry closet the next day. And then we find out she's like, well, she told Mrs. H that her name was Sinead, but the house liked to call her Ellen. And then later on you find out that's not even her name altogether, it's another name altogether. And they take when her and Daniel go out, they take a two-wheeled cab. I'm not exactly sure what the hell that is. Then Daniel gets hurt in a fight where he fights some lords, and he doesn't defend himself, he just takes it, because at this point he's not playing a gentleman, he's playing this other character, so he takes it because he doesn't want to reveal his identity. And so then she takes him, Miss Holloway takes him back to his apartment, and the landlord at the apartment is like, oh, Mrs. Holloway, and she's like, she's never met this woman in her life, but yet Mrs. Williams, the landlord, knows all about her, but she's never heard about Mrs. Williams or the landlord. And then it turns out that Daniel, this guy, has a kid, and she has a kid, and there's all this stuff, and we're just not told. And there was just, it just didn't make a hell of any sense. And then the guy that beat him up was a Marquis, so that's why he didn't want to make waves. And then he has private meetings with Lord Rankin, who's the master of the house. And apparently Lord Rankin is laundering money or taking money in from other bad guys. And he's funding terrorist groups with these bad guys. So there's stuff going on there. And it's just, he's helping the cops out because while he can be reported or arrested for the money thing, he doesn't want to be arrested for the traitoring thing, so he's helping them out there. And it takes a few other people to figure out what's going on because the Lord can't figure it out. And it's like, I just don't get it. And then they go food shopping. I'm like, And like I said, then we're halfway 200 pages in the book, and all of a sudden she's got a daughter. I'm like, what? There's all this stuff. And then not only does she have a daughter, but the people that are caring for her daughter want to adopt her daughter. And she's like, but she's my daughter. I don't want to give her up. And another 400 pages later, Daniel says, hey, well, get your solicitor. You'll get permanent custody of your daughter. I'm like, okay. But that was just it. Then, Lady Cynthia, who is Mrs. Lincoln's sister, the one that dresses like a guy, who I'd swear was gay, or because she hangs out with the Bobby person who's also might be gay. They attack Mrs. Holloway because they know Mrs. Holloway found the piece of paper, and someone had broken into the house and left a scrap of paper, and they want the scrap of paper from Mrs. Holloway, and they threaten to kill her and all this kind of stuff. And then it turns out they're not really bad guys, they're good guys. And it turns out that these Irish groups was going to bomb the Queen's train or something like that. So it was a good story, I guess, but I just didn't feel comfortable. There was too much stuff. I felt like I was walking into the middle of a story. So, they threaten Miss Holloway with the piece of paper, and they take Miss paper, and then she's like, oh, but we're not bad guys, we're the good guys. And then they go with Daniel, and they discover the Queen's train, and they want to make the Queen change her schedule, and she's like, no, she's going to take this route that her and Albert used to take way back when. And it just doesn't make it. I just couldn't get into it because I just felt like I was missing so many pieces. And I was like, a cook? I mean, I don't know. It didn't feel right because, like when they do these kind of things, she's a housekeeper or she's a maid and she's over to hear conversations in the society. Or maybe she's a low-income lady like Rosalind Thorne. Or as a cook, there was this other series, and I gotta find it, where the lady was the housekeeper, and she was really good at solving mysteries as a housekeeper. And as a housekeeper, she had a little bit more authority, and it felt easier to read. But if you want to check this out, and please hit the thumbs up and the like and subscribe. Let me know I'm doing a good job because, like I said, I'm a series person. I like to binge read series. I like to get into series, follow the character progression. And I'm not sure if I'll continue this or not. I'll think about it in the next day or so. But the other ones are that I was gonna. I had these in order, but no, they're not. A Scandal Above Stairs. I might do it. Death in Kew Gardens. And Murder in the East End is the other one. But, I was thinking about it, and I had her confused with Amanda Ashley. I thought I had a whole bunch of her books, and I checked my shelves. It's Amanda Ashley, not Jennifer. But, I mean, you can check it out. It just didn't flow for me. And I read the whole thing, and, there's always people that say, life is too precious. If you're not enjoying what you're reading, put it down. But I wanted to see how it played out, and it really didn't. There's a couple of sad points at the end, but it's okay. I mean, I wouldn't. If you're gonna compare it to Donna Andrews or Victoria Thompson or Darcy Wilde or any of those, this is gonna get like a 2.5. It just wasn't there for me. Don't you step on my computer and log me off. Because he has a tendency to log me off. So, please check it out and see if you like it and let me know. And if you know any good series, let me know. I'm trying to investigate some new series to me. And I'm going to get me some Fortune. Some Johnny D. Land. That should be the next one for tomorrow. But just hit the like and subscribe. And let me know I'm doing a good job reading books, talking books. That's all I can do. I have no talents. I have no editing talents or visual talents. I can't drop in stuff and stuff like that. And I like to read the physical book so I can show you the physical book. There is sometimes have you noticed in older series, you can't get the first 1 or 2 books anymore. They're only ebooks. But I don't let that stop me. I do have an e-reader, so I can read them that way. But I like to show you a physical book. So you will have to check it out. It says, highly sought after young cook Kate Holloway takes a position in a Mayfair mansion and soon finds herself immersed in the old household of Lord Rankin. Kat is unbothered by the family's eccentricities as long as they stay out of her kitchen. But trouble finds its way below stairs when her young Irish assistant is murdered. Don't step on my computer. So check it out. And please hit the thumbs up and subscribe. I don't know if I'll be doing the rest of these. I probably won't. I have a whole pile to be read. And maybe I'll try another series tomorrow. I'll get me some Fortune tonight, though, for tomorrow. Check it out. Please hit thumbs up, like, and subscribe. Thank you.